They say New York City never sleeps. But that night, the streets felt empty, like the city itself was holding its breath. I'm Samantha. I always thought love was supposed to be simple, the kind in movies, where the world stops and everything else fades. But reality is messier, and sometimes cruel. It all began 3 years ago in a small Brooklyn cafe. I was nursing a cup of black coffee, trying to wake up from a night shift at the hospital. He, Daniel, sat across from me, sketching on a napkin, completely unaware I was staring. He looked up, smiled, and said, "You look like you're fighting the world on your own." I laughed nervously. Maybe I am. And just like that, the quiet of the cafe turned electric. We began talking, and before I knew it, I was falling for him. Hard.
Daniel was an architect with dreams bigger than the skyline. He spoke of buildings that could breathe, of windows that caught sunlight like music. And somehow, he made me feel like I mattered. Like I was the only one he could see. We moved in together in a tiny brownstone in Brooklyn, peeling paint, creaky stairs, a view of a brick wall. But it was ours. We laughed, we danced in the kitchen, we burned pancakes together, and for a while, it was perfect. But New York, it doesn't forgive. Work hours stretched, bills piled up, exhaustion settled in. We were still together, but the spark dimmed. We became roommates with memories.
Then came the letter, a call from a record label in Los Angeles that wanted him. A chance of a lifetime, he said. A few weeks away, he promised. But weeks turned to months. Calls were shorter, texts colder. And one day, I saw him on Rolling Stone's website, smiling beside a famous singer. My chest tightened. My hands shook. I whispered, "So this is what love looks like when it moves on without you." I tried to move on too, dating, writing, and convincing myself I didn't care. But every rainy street in Boston reminded me of him. Every song on the radio echoed his voice. Then, almost a year later, a knock on my apartment door changed everything.
Hope surged through me like electricity. I told myself I wouldn't go, but I did. Because love, stupid, fragile love, makes fools of us all. Friday night, Penn Station, cold, wet, chaotic. I stood near track 7, heart pounding, watching the crowd spill from the arriving train, and then I saw him. Daniel. Older, tired, but unmistakably him. Our eyes met, and for a moment, everything else disappeared. But fate had other plans.
He passed 3 weeks later, quietly, almost peacefully. I thought the story had ended there. Then I found a second letter. This one wasn't addressed to me. It was for the world. Liam had secretly arranged for his final album to be released posthumously. Every track told our story. Our love, our arguments, our laughter, our rain. People called it heartbreakingly beautiful. But I knew it was ours. Only ours. Now I live in Seattle, where it rains more than it shines. I run a small cafe near Pike Place Market, watching strangers pass by. But when it storms, sometimes I swear I hear him strumming his guitar somewhere in the distance. And maybe that's what love really is.